Hey, what is up, guys? We are here with the Kotal Kahn character breakdown. Now, if you guys haven't seen the other character breakdowns, we basically cover the character's normals, strings, special moves, differences between their variations, and just kind of give a basic game plan. So Kotal Kahn is a big body. He's a big, slow kind of dude when he's moving backwards. You see his retreating walk speed is super slow, right? But his forward walk speed is really fast, and his run is really fast. The other thing that helps him get around are his normals. Pretty much every normal he has moves forward an insane amount, right? So his forward and forward 1 and 2 move really far forward, as you guys can see. Back 1 and back 2 also move forward pretty considerable amounts. The thing about all these normals are they're pretty unsafe, right? Kotal Kahn is a character who he has all these great normals for whiff punishing and moving forward and stuff like that, but yeah, it's really unsafe. The other thing about this normal is that, you know, this is going to be his main combo starter. You'll see it all the time. But you can actually land a neutral jump punch after it, too. Not a lot of people know that. I didn't know that until I saw a video about it just the other day by Ultra David. And that leads to so much damage. This character does a ton of damage. He is very, very beefy. Even if you do pretty simple combos, he's going to hurt a lot. That is kind of his thing, right? He's pretty unsafe, but when he lands the hit, it is dangerous. So let's talk about his universal special moves. He has a couple of them, and the interesting thing about him is that he has gain and losing life mechanics, right? So the first one he has is this right here. This is a power-up, and as you saw, if you guys didn't look in the upper left corner of the screen by my health, it does 10% of your own life to do that, but you get an insane damage buff, so that does 9%. If I power myself up, 13.5% damage. Now that's a pretty big damage buff. It's gonna give your combos, so like a basic B&B with him does like anywhere from like 35 to almost 40% for a bar. So with that, you're gonna do anywhere from 40s to maybe 50%. You reach almost 50% with that. So that's pretty great. And also him damaging himself is not too bad. He has a couple ways to heal himself, especially in his Blood God variation. He has another way to do it, but universally he has Sunray, which is down forward 4. Now if you're standing in it, it's a heal. If your opponent's standing in it, it does damage over time. If you EX it, it just does more healing or more damage over time if I push him into it. So yeah, it's basically the way it works. The other thing he has that's universal is his air throw. You can use this, end combos, does a lot of damage. Or if you EX it, get more combos off of it, 33%. Really simple, easy combo there. The other thing that is universal is his projectile, down forward 3. It is a mid, does 11%, pretty slow, but the EX version's a lot faster, does 16%. Now, those are his universal moves. Let's talk about Sun God. I wanted to start first with Sun God because it's the most basic, and it's kind of what you think of when you look at, when you think about Kotal Kahn, right? He's this big, slow-moving type. You expect him to be a grappler, and this move, it does have a command throw. It's, he has down back 2, which is a command throw. And as you can see there, I kind of powered up, right? And I'm a little bulkier. If I do it a second time, I gain another level, and I get a little slam at the end. If I do it again, then I'm going to go full Kotal Kahn mode, break him over my back. Pretty great. And the interesting thing is, now you see I'm all powered up. My chest tattoos are glowing. And if I take any damage, I can use this special move to heal myself. Oh, whoops. This special move to heal myself. So that's the other special move. I got 12% life back for that, if you guys didn't notice. So I lost 10% to do the damage buff, but I gained 12% just to heal myself back. So yeah, doing damage to yourself is not so bad because obviously you can heal yourself in the little Sunray, or you can use his move in Sun God to heal yourself. As well, if you go into his Blood God variation, he has another way to heal himself. So Blood God is very setup heavy, right? This is very setup heavy and set play based variation of him. It's a really cool variation. He has 3 special moves. He has down back 1, which is this totem, which gives you a damage boost. So as you can see there, that does almost 12% instead of the usual 9. So if you have this and you have this, you basically hit like a grown man. You saw that did almost 20% by itself. Yeah, so his basic B&Bs do like 60 to 70% damage, which is pretty insane. It's a lot of freaking damage for no reason. But it does require some setup. He has down back 2. This one is a defense buff, right? So I take less damage from incoming attacks. And down back 3. Now this one is a vampiric one, right? So let's say I just do this and I do whatever, and yeah, I'll just hit him a bunch, and okay. So watch when it explodes. I gain 5.5% life back. If you do a normal B&B, you'll probably gain like maybe 5 to 7% damage back, something like that. So that's another way to heal yourself. So yeah, Kotal Kahn's damage buff, you guys are probably thinking, yeah, it makes a lot more sense now, right? Yeah, it definitely does. And that is Blood God. So we move on to War God. This one is the most unique one because a lot of things change. He gains more special moves than the other two variations. And he has a really big sword on his back, as you guys have probably noticed. So one of the things we mentioned earlier in this video is that he's a very unsafe character, right? That was kind of his problem. That changes in this variation because he can cancel into this move. And this move is safe on block. It's -4. So you want to do your unsafe starter and cancel into that. You're totally fine. If you want to do the shoulder, cancel into it. Not a big deal. Everything's going to be okay, you know? And that's really good for him. That is really good. It's a way for Kotal Kahn to stay much more safe. So here's the EX version of it. Just a little bit extra damage at the end. Extra hit there. As you guys can probably guess, his projectile changes as well. So he has that. It's an 11% mid, but he has an EX version of it. I'll show it from full screen first. So, EX version of it does 6%. You're probably like, wow, that kind of sucks. You do it point blank. It hits multiple times. That does 17%. So when you do that in a combo and you're point blank, it does a grip of damage. It does quite a lot. So I think that's definitely a pretty interesting way to change things. His other moves, he has down back 1, which is an overhead strike, and you know the EX version of it pops up. So you can get a nice little combo off that. He has down back 2, which is a low sweep, and the EX version just does more damage. That's all it is. I think it's like, what, 5% more? I didn't see what it was. And he also has down back 3, which is just this really interesting move. So you saw it actually has a hit to it up close, but it's actually really meant to be full screen because it is a ground pound that is unblockable. There's an EX version of it. It does more damage. But the thing about this move is that you can also cancel it. You just hold up and you can cancel the move. So you know, you do this and your opponent's like, oh, he's going to ground pound me, right? So you cancel it and then he jumps and you just anti-air him. Or you do it, you cancel it, and you do EX air throw into a big 30% Kotal Kahn combo because you try to jump over your unblockable ground pound. Pretty neat stuff, right? So this character is pretty unsafe, but his variations are very setup heavy. It takes a lot to get going, but he does a grip of damage. He's very strong on the ground, very strong footsies, very strong at whiff punishing and stuff like that. And he's a really interesting and fun character. I definitely recommend you guys checking him out if you like this style of character, especially if you like to play on the ground or you like slower characters. Really, really interesting. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the Kotal Kahn character breakdown, and I'll see you guys again soon.